Hey everyone, TexPool here.
And White Kid here.
Today we're once again teaming up for a special occasion. Batman Day is just around the corner, which seems like the perfect occasion to discuss a very particular Batman media.
That particular Batman media being Batman Forever, which turns 30 years old this year.
Yeah, although it's not the only reason. As many of you may recall, Val Kilmer, the actor who played Batman in that movie, sadly passed away earlier this year.
Yeah, and he makes it the third Batman we've lost in a span of, Jesus. A span of almost a decade.
Yes, but unlike Adam West and Kevin Conroy, who are considered to be the definitive Batman for certain generations, Val Kilmer is kind of the underdog. While people may argue who is ultimately the best Batman, they can certainly agree on who's the worst one, while Kilmer is somewhere in between.
Yeah, I suppose he is. I mean, he isn't stellar, good lord, but he isn't too bad either. I mean, he still had more he could work with than the entire cast in its follow up.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think we should do a retrospective on Batman Forever to see if it has any redeeming qualities, and how it could have been salvaged. You know, for Val.
Exactly. I'm all in.
So, for context, after Batman Returns' disappointing box office run and severe backlash, Tim Burton had to step down as the director, and the late Joel Schumacher was approached to replace him. In the meantime, Val Kilmer was enlisted to play Batman, as Michael Keaton has also left due to either creative differences or salary dispute, and Warner Brothers wanted a more light-hearted take on Batman, which in itself isn't a bad thing. I know fans and moviegoers prefer their Batman to be,
Dark and gritty and painful.
but in all fairness, Batman can be fun.
When done right, that is. Batman the Brave and the Bold, anyone?
Yeah, pretty much. And it should be noted that it was never Schumacher's intention. He wanted to flesh out the Dark Knight himself, get inside his head as he's dealing with an identity crisis and questioning his crusade, something that Burton never got to explore in his movies, which featured a more stoic Batman and the bigger emphasis on the villains.
Which goes to show that when done right, the good old being lighthearted and being serious when it needs to works. But of course, certain interferences had to happen, and they resulted in a very, very confused movie.
Indeed. While the psychological subplot remained, it was ultimately overshadowed by campy villains, and probably the worst romantic plotline in a Batman movie.
Yeah, this is one of those films that have remnants of what the director's original idea was, but then got lost in its bad things. You know, in this case being psychological dive into the main character and a machine that brainwashes and manipulates people. I mean, they even straight up kill Robin's family in this movie, for Pete's sake. You actually see them get killed.
Yeah.
But like you said, all the good things and ideas, they kind of get overshadowed by the campy villains and the pre-mentioned studio interferences. And yes, possibly worst romance in a Batman movie. I know people often argue the one in Dark Knight Rises is the worst romance, what with the lack of chemistry between the actors or something like that, but god dang it, this, I swear, this almost feels like a porn parody of a Batman movie, rather than being an actual Batman movie. Both with the fact that the girlfriend is being very weirdly horny around this man, and the questionable design choices on the batsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dead serious. All this woman cares about is Batman, not at all about Bruce Wayne. Before she suddenly decides, oh wait, I actually like Bruce Wayne more. What the heck, woman? Ironically, though, this kind of reflects what Val Kilmer had to deal with after the release of this movie. Because apparently nobody wanted to meet Val Kilmer. Everybody just wanted Batman or Iceman.
Yeah, right. The psychological plot point could have been the film's saving grace, though, if it wasn't so sandwiched between all the pre-mentioned madness.
Mm-hmm.
This story arc is also rushed and incomplete because of some missing key scenes, which were cut.
Is that where there's like a joke about the possible X-ray version? Like circling around the internet?
Well, yeah, a director's cut, which apparently could have been officially released if it wasn't for the mergers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I even heard that Kevin Smith, who saw the cut, was gonna screen it to a lot of people, and Warner Brothers reportedly stopped that from happening.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not sure that keeping these scenes would have helped the movie. I mean, how can you take Bruce's internal conflict seriously when this is supposed to be his therapist?
No, you can't.
Most people to this day put all the blame on Schumacher for everything that is wrong with his film and its follow-up. But the truth is, the guy simply chose to comply with the studio's mandates, rather than fighting for his vision and getting fired and blacklisted in the process.
Which is something that sadly happens even to this day.
But all the film's shenanigans aside, I don't think there is any need in hating it 30 years later. It's just part of Batman's history, a weird entry from a time of uncertainty. The studio obviously overreacted and traded the gothic tone and maturity of the source material for neon lights and 60s camp. At best, Batman Forever and its unfortunate follow-up are cautionary tales of how not to adapt iconic comic book heroes, especially in live action.
In-house studios' interference for the sake of marketability and excuses to aim the movie more at kids always ends bad!
Yeah, that too.
But regardless, I can see what Schumacher tried to do with this movie, just like you can. Like, with the attempt at diving deeper into Bruce Wayne's psychology and the commentary with the Riddler's cone device, even though it's referred to as a box for some reason, despite that obviously being a cone. Come on, people. It's so freaking obviously a cone. But all the good stuff, even the visuals, I'd say visuals are cool. Like, they're colorful, they're bright and all. Like, it's not Batman, but they're still pretty good to look at. But even then, all the good stuff really got devoured by all the pre-mentioned stuff. So, this movie's basically Batman and Harley Quinn before Batman and Harley Quinn. And I'm gonna be honest, next to the follow-up Batman and Robin, which was horrendous, spoiler alert, or not, because we all know how it is by this point. But again, next to that movie, Batman Forever just feels like it's almost as good as the Burton movies.
Oh, definitely.
Because, as opposed to that movie, this movie does still have some redeeming factors. And lastly, I would like to say it's not nice at all how Schumacher became a mocking stock over the years after these movies, because this dude, he went on to direct one of my favorite musicals, or rather the movie version of one of my favorite musicals ever, Phantom of the Opera.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, and one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a cool thing. In the honor of this movie's anniversary, LEGO actually released a set of the Batmobile from this movie. Yeah, I'm not joking. Don't believe me? Here's a picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like, this is the actual, Batmobile from Batman Forever. Here it is. See? See? Yeah, look. There's Val Kilmer as Batman down there. So it's this movie.
Nice. Well, that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and this piece. It was made as a tribute to both Val Kilmer and Joel Schumacher. And thank you, Whitecat, again for joining me today.
It was my pleasure, buddy.
Likewise, don't forget to check our socials for additional content and check out the previous episode of Sketchy Podcast, in case if you haven't. Thanks for stopping by. See y'all.
See you, folks.